Mic check. Mic check. Yo. All right, so we're doing something different, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing something different. Welcome to LEC Podcast, Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Chef Saw. You know what I'm saying? My co-host, he going hard in the paint right now on today's dish. We're having technical difficulties right now, but like I said, this is the first episode, the pilot. And we just want to say thank you guys for joining. Welcome. Really do appreciate all you guys coming to join. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, primarily this season. This episode, we're just going to keep it NFL based. And we're also going to introduce some dishes that as chefs, we know. We're going to be introducing you guys to some dishes that are primarily NFL related cities. Tonight's night, it would be New York and Seahawks. So as a chef, I personally decided to go with the meatball sub because that is pretty much Italian and New York as fuck. So we didn't have much time to create it. We don't have the cameras like everybody else do right now, but this here is a meatball sub. My co-host finally joins.
Yo.
Yeah, so let's get down to business. We want to talk about some of the sports that have been going on these last couple of weeks. Now, for those of y'all who are wondering, like, what's going on or why are we doing this now and not week one or what have we, simply, to put it the best perspective, is we're human. We are absolutely human. And as humans, we come up with ideas, we come up with things, and either we decide to follow through with them or sometimes we choose not to. In this particular case, me and my homeboy, a good friend of mine, he's like a brother to me. We said, fuck it, let's do it. And here we are. Week 4, I believe, in the league.
Week 4
in the league. He's a Titans fan. I'll let him tell you guys about the Titans. Obviously, I'm a Bears fan. If you don't know who I am, I'm a diehard Bears fan. We don't want to talk about Chicago Bears right now.
No, we're going to talk about Chicago too, man. We're going to talk about everything. A little bit of all of it.
We don't want to talk about Chicago. But it's cool. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I'm not going to say anything about what's going on per se, play per play. But I will address some things about the city of Chicago and the Bears organization. With that said, let's go ahead and kick it off, man. What you want to talk about? You want to talk about the game right now?
Yeah, well, we're going to get the game loaded up on the screen.
All right, we're going to get the game loaded up on the screen. We're going to share this link here in a little bit and get this thing going here. Like I said, I got this meatball sub. I've been ready to dive into this motherfucker for a minute, but it is what it is, man. Once again, this is LEC Sports Podcast. Let them cook. Let them cook. We up in here doing our things. This is Chef Saw, Chef Uno Rich. Just a band of brothers trying to make something shake.
Appreciate everybody for coming, man.
Now, since this is the pilot, bro, we can kind of do whatever the fuck we want to.
Okay, we need to get the link for that so I can share it to everybody.
So, I got you.
We'll be way more organized next week, guys. Learning experience, first time. But hey, just happy to be here. Happy to have you guys following along with us.
I actually just sent it to you via text. Let's see if I can get some of these guys going. Send another link. Pause. That's another thing too. I don't be wanting, because I've been saying pause for so long. I don't be wanting to say that shit because Cam and the niggas got it on lock for it is what it is.
Uh-huh.
But I've been thinking about that. Like when I was like, hey, bro, if we do this, like, we gonna get trouble for saying something like that, or we gonna smash because, like, make no mistake, man. Listen. I do gotta say this. I feel like I need to say this. This podcast this is who we are. This isn't a facade. This ain't a game. This isn't, we're not playing characters or anything like that. This is Saw and this is Rich. Like this is what you're going to get.
You can get the same me this Monday that you're going to get next
So
Monday.
I'm not going to be saying like, people that come out here and they'll start adding things and stuff like that. We're not going to be doing all that here. This is who I am.
We're unapologetically us.
This is who we are. So if you get offended, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, if you get offended by anything I say, I sincerely apologize to you. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. That's just how I talk. This is who I am. So if we watching the game or something and I slip or say something, don't take it personal, man. Don't take it personal at all. This is just who I am as an individual. And I respect and love everybody. My bro here, same thing. So we're going to say some funny shit sometimes. You just got to be able to accept that for what it is, man. So, yeah, let's get the phone out and let's talk about it.
All right, guys, we're loaded up on the Monday Night Football in the background.
Now, Monday Night Football, man. Monday Night Football is something for me. That's I enjoy Monday night games because it's like pretty much the last week of the game. Last week of the game. It's probably the last game of the week, and it's usually the one that's filled with the most drama.
Let's keep in mind we do got the Giants playing today, so just how much drama we got is yet to be seen.
Now, here's the thing about the Giants. Last year, these guys made it to the playoffs, and they were in a drought for a long time. But I really do fuck with the Giants organization. I do like what they're building, but it's a lot of players. It's a lot of players and a lot of teams in the league that are, criminal of the crop are supposed to be doing something spectacular or whatever the fuck, and they're not doing anything crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams that we have predicting going upwards, literally on the downward scale right now. The Giants right now are 1-2, and I know it's early in the season. We just got through with the first phase of the NFL season, the first 4 weeks. But yeah, man, this is it's a pretty lopsided year for a lot of these teams that had promising off seasons or promising playoff appearances last season.
All right, man, I got a question for you. Out of the week 4 we're in right now, is there any team that surprised you through the 4 weeks so far in the NFL? Cleveland?
You can't, yeah.
I can definitely say Cleveland as well.
I didn't. So they opened up the season, if I'm not mistaken. They opened up the season and they destroyed Cincinnati. And for those of y'all that don't know, Burrow is my guy. I fucks with Joe Burrow. That is my boy.
Big Burrow.
That's my boy, dog. I fucks with Burrow. And granted, the offseason was weird for them because they had a lot of stuff going on. Man, that the obliteration of Cincinnati has been a huge question mark right now. The first month of the season, I'm just like, God.
I was thinking more of a positive aspect, but in a negative sense, Cincinnati's been disappointing this year. For sure. Cincinnati has been disappointing.
Cleveland, on the other hand, they got everything. And now, granted, they just lost Nick Chubb, but people seem to forget that the player that they have at quarterback was a beast when he was out in Houston, Deshaun Watson. Now, a lot of people are, he did this, he did that. Listen, I don't be counting another man's pockets. I don't be out here and bothering. I don't condone anything these folks do. I specifically care about football and I watch what they do on the field. Like, I get all y'all and what he did or what he was accused of, allegedly, things like that. That's another thing they told us, bro. Like, bro sent me an email and said, if you say anything, make sure, especially if it's like off-season shit, we got to make sure we say allegedly.
Allegedly.
So,
but I'll tell you what's not allegedly. The guy's a hell of a football player.
Hell of a
football player, man. It should be a big bounce-back year for him. There's been a lot of turmoil, a lot of drama going on in the off-season. Accusations.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But hey, man, it's a game of football at the end of the day is what we're going to talk about, man. We're not into the politics part of it.
Yeah, but Cleveland is the most surprising team to me so far. And then last week, I saw so much potential in the Cardinals when they beat Dallas the way they did. Like they ran the ball through Dallas. Dallas has a style defense, and the way that Cleveland and Cincinnati, the way that Arizona ran the ball against Dallas last week was, God, dog.
Arizona's looking decent. They got Joshua Dobbs out there starting at quarterback.
Dobbs has been one of those players.
Tennessee Volunteer, baby.
He is a Tennessee Volunteer. But he's been across the league. He's one of those backups that should be a starter for whatever reason. He's just a traveling agent at this point. But he is one of the potential guys that I could see. Like if he establishes himself inside of Arizona, I would like to see them build around Josh Dobbs. And so we are at first and 10, balls on the 33-yard line.
Get out of there, Danny. Daniel Jones looking like Lamar Jackson out there, man.
Jones is scrambling, getting first downs and stuff here. Fresh set of downs.
6 minutes left in the first quarter, man. Still early in the game.
You know who's a surprise quarterback?
Who?
Geno
Smith.
Geno doesn't get enough credit. I guarantee he wasn't selected in the draft of most people's fantasy leagues.
I think he's still open in our league.
I guarantee he was not drafted in a lot of fantasy leagues.
Tariq Woolen, UTSA University of Texas San Antonio, I should say.
Who that?
Homie got drafted in the later rounds last year, but I want to say led the NFL, if not the NFL for sure, led the rookies in interceptions last year.
Crazy.
So they got him and they got Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. So they're starting to build a solid little Legion of Boom 2.0 over there in Seattle.
Witherspoon was my dog back in the day when he was playing for Illinois. He was a beast. The rest of the team, not so much, but him, he was a beast.
Oh, unblocked. Speaking of Witherspoon, unblocked out the edge.
Mic up here.
Unblocked out the edge.
Now, we can't show the game, obviously, for NFL and copyright infringement purposes. But we can definitely tell y'all what's going on.
For the purposes of my lungs, I need a lighter. We got 2 lighters, man. No fluid in neither of them.
I got matches. While he's doing that, I'm gonna knock back this sub, y'all. So don't mind me if I'm eating on camera. I might leave real quick. Well, he left. He's got to get his shit lit. So I'm gonna leave and go eat this badass sub. Again, every week we're gonna be introducing y'all to some dishes that are primarily the home city of the NFL team. If we feeling fancy, we're more than touchback. They let that one go. But in the event of if we feeling fancy in what case, we'll probably drop off 2 meals, one from the home away team, and obviously we'll do the hometown. Let's talk about New York. Good old New York. Now, I've never been to New York. I've never, ever been. That'll be changing here in the future. I am going to go venture out and visit the boroughs of New York City. I feel like I owe it because I got a lot of friends and a lot of family members who actually reside there. It's crazy I'm saying they actually reside there. But New York is very popular for a lot of things. But if you ever ask somebody who's in New York, they will tell you that their food is the best on the planet. And if I'm wrong, obviously they're not from New York. Now, when you get into like the boroughs, right? That's where the bragging rights comes from each borough. Who has the best food in each borough? Each borough. Hey, this sound kind of loud though, but you got to get used to this shit.
This is trial and error, guys.
Yeah.
Pilot episode. Again, appreciate everybody for tuning in who is tuned in.
Yeah, so New York is one of those cities that it's like a must visit. I've heard that it's a great city, and in the same sentence, I've heard that it smells like piss, no matter where you go. I've heard that before. But yeah, I do plan on venturing out and going to visit that city. I know some chefs out there as well uh, that I would love to work with, get to know, get to chop it up with, see if they're actually. See, New York is one of those weird cities too because in the NFL they actually have 3 football teams. I believe
Although the games are played in New Jersey,
they are
not
played
New
in New
York.
Jersey
And for those who don't know that, the games are actually in New Jersey, not
and
New
Buffalo,
York.
New Jersey and Buffalo, New York. I don't know the history, but at one point they did play in New York City. I just don't remember the full gist of it. That's an educational thing. I should be able to do that here in the future. Do some research on the Giants and do some research on the Jets. I do think that the Jets have a bigger fan base than the Giants, right?
Oh, comparing last year to this year, the Jets might have got over the Giants. I don't know. New York, the Jets fans have been quiet for a while. Aaron Rodgers came over to New York, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of Jets fans. Then he got hurt. Now we're going to see how many people are still rocking with him with Zach Wilson. But he had a hell of a game last night.
There we go.
Noah Fan, a little 12-yard reception.
You know what I'm gonna do? Let me see if this works. I don't like to stand.
Just hold it. Hold it.
I bet this comes off. Yeah.
The stand is a little bullshit.
Yeah. We'll get the boom. We'll get the booms here in a second. That's so much better, bro. So much better.
How'd you do that?
Yeah. Just unscrew the sides respectively. I'm getting high off a secondhand smoke. I'm finna knock this. I'm finna.
Oh, pass interference. Looking
I'm
like
gonna go eat this sandwich. Hold on.
yes, sir.
You want to mute it? Make sure you press that button. Okay. Otherwise, it'll pick up everything.
Well, guys, we're off the leash. So, man, if y'all got any topics y'all want to talk about, anything y'all want to discuss, just comment, leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe while we're all in the channel. Again, it's just a work in progress. This is the pilot episode, week 1. Week 1 for us, I should say, week 4 in the league. So off camera, made a little mess, which would be the reason we're not eating on camera right now. Trial and error. It's looking like about a 30-yard pass interference.
Unable to get to the sideline. Anthony Bradford, a rookie, a fourth-round pick for LSU, really played well in his place against Carolina. He's in the ball game now. He really did.
Should I get YouTube Premium or YouTube TV?
It just depends on how much you're gonna watch it. Because I got the Sunday ticket without the YouTube TV, because the YouTube TV is gonna be like another $60 on top of the Sunday ticket. I'm more of a just YouTube video guy myself. Oh, solid stiff arm.
I got him on my other league.
Looks like it's coming back though. Flag on the play. Hold it call. So man, it's looking like it's a slow game starting off. Everyone still filling each other out. Seattle working his way towards scoring position, but flag gonna push him back.
Who's the bigger disappointment so far, the Bears or the Giants?
Oh, bigger disappointment? I'm gonna say Chicago. At least in our viewpoint, because this was a make or break year for Justin Fields. Well, turn it around in Chicago. Looks like we might be seeing Caleb Williams in that Bears uniform next year.
I doubt Caleb Williams.
Oh, look like offsides.
Offside, yeah.
So they get the center. Ojulari came across, and the Giants are happy to have seen Ojulari back.
So it's gonna be first and about 25 is looking like.
See much there, but how's this game going so far? Smooth as the river play.
First and 25, yep. They gotta make something happen here, get some of that field position back.
I call screen.
Gino steps up, gets out the pocket. Oh, okay. Another holding call. He's gonna come back.
Half distance goal.
It's gonna end up being about first and 30 something after this one, guys.
He said, what?
Yeah, he's holding them.
That's why Lockett then is able to get to the edge. Pretty easy call to make. Pretty sloppy game so far by both teams. Yeah. Seahawks with 4 straight plays with a penalty.
Technical issues over here.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Yeah, we're back. No, I should have brought my ashtray for my cigars.
Yeah, some roller trade, man. This game.
This is typically where the weak ability brings the pressure. He brings it as much as anybody in football.
3rd and 8. Let's see what they do.
Smith to the sideline for
Good catch.
And a strong catch.
You know, it's crazy. As I'm sitting here doing this, bro. Oh, you got a nice one. This is perfect. This is perfect. So much clearer.
4th down, punting comes on for Seattle. With Dory Jackson waiting for
4th and 8.
Eric Gray muffed the punt the last time. Michael Dixon hit one and he's out. Jackson gets a chance. Good returner in college. Inside the 15. 3rd
Yeah,
position.
I think Dory Jackson.
Fits and starts so far. That's what.
This is probably never mind. 'Cause I was gonna say this is probably the worst first like half I've seen in a while. Can't even say that. I think Denver still holds.
Still got all the Broncos.
I think Denver still holds that. Denver definitely still holds that. Still making the proper adjustments with this microphone. This is our first episode, y'all. Again, the pilot to the season. One thing that I do notice is as I hold this, you hear that the actual microphone a little bit.
Definitely better than the stand.
Take this. We actually have one viewer. It's my mama. Hi, Ma.
Hello.
Hi, Mama. How you doing? They always say your mom is going to be always your biggest supporter. Just want to let you know, Mom, I love you to death. Thank you for joining us. This is LEC Podcast, LEC Sports, Let 'em Cook Sports. I'm your
Let
host,
them cook.
Chef Saul, and my brother right here, Rich. Rich. This is the first episode. Feel free to comment if you are still active. God knows I don't want to ask you about the Bears either.
Sending a couple links out here, guys.
Just so we're aware to the viewers, there is a delay. So if you're messaging something, we won't hear it or we won't see it or actually get an idea of anything because the messages are actually delayed. So just be patient. This is the first episode, and we're just trying to get all the kinks out before we take it to the next level. So really, again, I can't thank you guys enough. So we're on commercial break. Let's talk about conferences. Who has the best conference? In your opinion, the best conference?
I'm gonna say we'll go AFC East. I'm gonna say the East. The East is Buffalo, Miami.
Buffalo, Miami, New England,
Yeah,
and the Jets.
yeah. I'm gonna say the East.
Jets. I would say the best conference, the best division is the AFC.
I'm gonna say the best.
The best conference.
Oh yeah.
right now
Best
is
conference. I'm gonna say AFC by far.
AFC. By far?
By far.
I can't see it.
If we can go team for
Oh, he
team.
dropped the
Oh,
ball.
it's a big strip on the play. Seattle's gonna have it in the red zone. Looking like 13, 14-yard line.
This game is ugly.
Daniel Jones is looking like he don't want to win the game tonight, guys.
Not at all.
24 career fumbles since 2019.
That's
Wow.
What did she say? Somebody came to play. Yeah, that is definitely true. Are you watching the game right now? That is crazy. That is crazy. You are watching the game. Yeah, this is pretty ugly.
Let's see if we can get some points on the board.
Yeah, I need them to run the ball. I don't need them to throw it. There we go.
Kenneth Walker for about a yard.
I actually got him.
About a yard.
What's up with the hair? He a Florida boy. He's got it.
Who? The one that just showed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely.
here, folks. Stay classy and stay here. Don't choke.
You know what I am happy about? If you don't want to watch a Monday night football game, you don't really have to. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's your favorite team. But because we're watching it, growing up, Troy Aikman enjoyed Joe Buck. Like, no matter where they were, Troy Aikman would trash your quarterback. I'm just so glad I don't have to hear that on a Sunday, on the American game of the week no more. And it's like on Monday Night Football. And obviously, it's going to be a flagship game. No disrespect to Sir Troy Aikman or Joe Buck. I just, they would drown us for like the last 20 years with these guys.
Well, Seattle got on the board.
I was hoping that. So the score now is 6-0 with an attempt to kick a field goal here with Seattle. And they are in New Jersey right now.
Oh,
And those Giants are going for it. Like, I feel bad for the Giants, but I don't feel bad for the Giants.
I could never feel bad for the Giants, man.
Think about all the greats that have been there. Who's your favorite great?
The Giants?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go either Plexico Burris
It's the place to go.
or Tiki Barber. I fucked with Tiki Barber.
Good old Tiki. Good old Tiki.
Let's not forget a defensive end too.
Straight hand. I was
Straight
waiting on
hand.
to say Michael.
Yeah, straight hand.
Yeah. We don't have the gap no more, so we hardly recognize him. Neither. My mom says she doesn't like neither team or no player at all. I understand. We'll talk about the Bears here in a little bit. I got to get that off of my chest. I don't know what's going on. And I know people have been dying to hear from me for the last 4 weeks about the Bears. I have no comment, absolutely none. I'm a lot like the rest of the fan base that has been out there all summer long. We've just been hearing about Justin Fields, and we've been hearing about fucking DJ Moore. Excuse my French. My apologies. We just been hearing about DJ Moore and Justin Fields and this new and improved defense. They done spent millions of dollars on these players. These players are coming from all over, and it's just not. Everything looked great on paper, and it's not being foreshadowed in the game right now. And it's not just Fields; it's across the board. So I don't really want to talk about it because it's like I don't think they know what they're doing. I'm a fan when it's all said and done. I can't sit here and say what they need to do or anything along those lines. I try to stay out of that out of that shell, that circle. A lot of podcasters will be on there and they'll talk about it 24/7. It's just so hard for me to say anything because I don't know what they need to do. I have been hearing, so I can say this. I can say this. Again, we're having technical difficulties, but I can't say this. Once the players start saying things in these interviews and the media starts taking certain words out of context and your team is having to put out a fire real quick or your GM is coming out of nowhere having to talk, some shit's going down in the organization. Immediately after all that stuff was said, Chase Claypool was next. Chase Claypool was the next one to say some crazy stuff. And before we know it, he was told to stay home.
Yeah, he didn't even travel with the team.
He was told to stay home, bro. That is crazy. You're paying this man, by the way.
Let's be honest, and they need the help.
They need all the help they can get. You told this man to stay home. So there's literally nothing I can say about the Bears that'll change what's going on. There's flags being thrown right now. What is going on?
See that graphic? Sort out this penalty 70-6. That's what the Giants have been outscored.
Aaron Rodgers' injury. That's a good focal point. I watched the whole Hard Knock season. I was so hyped for this guy. I started as a fan of the game. I was really excited to see what he was going to be capable of with the Jets. The thing with Aaron Rodgers, though, is uh, so many people say he can come back from his Achilles injury, this and that. I don't know if that's going to be easy to do because of the league and how the NFL is played now. It's a much faster game than what it was a while ago. And I'm not going to sit here and knock myself. I don't want to knock myself and say that he he's not going to be the same, but it's going to be different. These players play on turf, Dan. I want to say, what, 80% of the league play on turf. And turf is hard to play on. And that doesn't matter if you're in the NFL, collegiate. It doesn't matter, high school, pee wee. Turf is really tough on your body. You don't have that extra cushion to fall on and things like that. And players have been adamant about this for at least 10 years now. So it's something that it's going to be hard to see him come back from it and be able to scramble like he used to do when he was in Green Bay. So it's really disheartening to see that. How he went down. Man, it's so disheartening to see that. How he went down, the way he went down, and so much hype and stuff built around that program. But I do hope that the New York Jets fan base, they're in a different situation than a lot of these teams. They, on paper, literally have the best defense in the entire NFL. So if I were Jets fans, if I was a Jets fan, I would be rallying around that defense, similar to what the Bears done, similar to what Baltimore twice. They won 2 rings with stout defenses. If I were those fans of the Jets, I would be cheering that defense on and just focusing on the run. They still have a two-headed monster in Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall. You don't necessarily have to rely on airing the ball out with Zach Wilson. I get it. This league is a league of premier quarterbacks and 200-yard throwing, 300-yard games. I get all that. But you can still win a football game by simply running the ball and allowing your defense to just take control and do the damage that they need to do to get your offense in some good key spots to win a game or so. It is not looking good for the New York Giants right now. It is not looking good for the Giants right now. So
they're out there playing backyard football, guys.
So, and that's what's crazy, bro. I'm looking at this game, right? And it's like I'm not trying to bring him up, dog. But Justin Fields, bro. Yo, he was looking just like, was he not? Was he not?
Well, Justin Fields started off at an MVP level for the first quarter on Sunday, but
I'm talking about the whole
yeah,
awful.
But I'm just gonna say the career as a whole is not how we expected it to be. Just as many interceptions as touchdowns is not gonna cut it. No 300-yard games just 3 years into the career is not gonna cut it.
I hear boos.
You hear what?
I hear boos.
I'd be booing too. They want to see somebody else. I know the feeling, guys. Although I must say, Ryan Tannehill had a solid performance on Sunday. Titans look good as a whole.
Truth be told, bro,
Pretty dominated. You said what?
I like Tannehill.
He's all right, man. He's all right.
He's a dog, bro. He's one of the boys. He's one of the boys.
I'm not gonna give him the label of one of the boys.
He is one of the boys. Bro.
I'm not gonna say that. When you throw 3 picks against Cincinnati and
feel
get
that,
us
bro.
knocked out,
My man can throw 8. He's still one of the boys, bro. I fucks with Tannehill. I don't have no hate in my heart for Brody, dog. I like him. I like Derrick Henry. I like those 2 dudes, bro. Yo. Yo. I don't
I'm
know.
all for Derrick Henry. Pause.
Big pause.
Pause.
Yo, nah, not like that. Yeah, I think they the boys, bro. Like they've been holding it down for like the last 6 years now. Just them 2.
Nah, Tannehill's been there about He's been starter for 3 full years. He's been there 4 years. Mariota had the starting position till about week 6. Tannehill came in and held it down for the rest of the year. But I mean, even the late playoff run that we had when we lost to Cincinnati in the conference championship is like Tannehill really wasn't a factor. It's always been Derrick Henry. Always been Derrick Henry.
One of the greatest stories of football, because I remember when he first got here and he was not doing jack. Like, he couldn't do anything right at all. And all of a sudden, I remember he just arose from the ashes like a phoenix and took over.
Well, they had him behind DeMarco Murray his first 2 years. We got DeMarco Murray after he led the league in rushing in Dallas. We had got him the next year in free agency. And it's the same year that we drafted Derrick Henry in the second round, right off of his Heisman year. So coming in, I guess expectations were a little more than he was ready for, or really than he got the touches for, because he really didn't get the amount of touches to prove what he's doing now, or to showcase what he's doing now.
Him and what's his name from Houston was beefing every year.
Andre Johnson?
Yeah, you remember
Cortland Finnegan, that was a little bit before Derrick Henry's time. That was still Chris Johnson. That was still Chris Johnson days.
Chris Johnson was a dog too.
Chris Johnson,
he's one of the boys.
One of my all-time favorite running backs.
Who's your favorite of all time? You said one of them. So who's your favorite?
Probably Derrick Henry, man. I feel like we're watching something that ain't gonna be done again. No time soon.
What?
No time.
Well, because of the trajectory of the running back position.
Let's look at he lead. I believe in league history, the most 200-yard rushing games already.
True. I don't. Yeah. You're right. That is.
He is 2,000 yards away from Eddie George to be the Titans' all-time leader.
Now, my boy AJ was here right now. We have this talk like every time when Eddie George's name comes up. What happened to Eddie George? Huh? What happened to Eddie George? Oh man, fun stuff. For those of y'all who don't know what happened to Eddie George, I encourage y'all to look that up. I'm not even going to tell y'all explain that stuff right now.
We talking about the Ravens again?
Huh?
What do you mean? What happened to Eddie George?
What happened to him? Why he wasn't playing football for a while? Well, he quit after what happened to him. He a Ravens fan, mind you.
Yeah, no. You're not talking about that Ray Lewis here.
Ray Lewis bodied him, dog. You don't remember that shit?
You don't remember he trucked Ray Lewis too?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I know he's not playing. He wasn't. Obviously, he's not playing football now because it's been a while. But after that hit, I know that I have never seen that man.
I want to say he's actually coaching now. I want to say he's coaching high school football.
As a matter of fact, the last time I seen him was on an episode of Ballers. Was on an episode.
Great show, by the way.
The last time I saw Eddie.
Great show if you're in the football.
I wonder, you know what? He probably was on College Game Day too. I think he played for Auburn or something like that.
Where he played Ohio State.
Ohio State. He is a bucket. I was close.
They can attack with the soul.
Second down coming up after a game of 9. It seems Ojolari downfield. So they stopped him over from the Rams and Shane Waldron now. You know that when Pete Carroll made the hire.
Third season, the offensive coordinator.
For Pete Carroll, it's always been handing that ball off, whether it's Marshawn Lynch, it was Carson before he had the injuries. That's what he wants. Yeah, and when you talk to me, rather they come out and admit to that with their down.
So they've only ran the ball 2 times, passed it 10 times.
Which is crazy. Well, he was about to let it go.
Oh, he caught his own pass.
Why he just didn't throw it? Can you do that? You can throw it.
It looked like a late hit. Oh, and Gino's looking like he might have messed his knee up on that play. Hopefully not. That was a chaotic play all around. He should have threw the ball again once he got it.
Ode to JJ Watt right there.
Okay, so Gino's good. 3rd and 13. Crowd getting into it. Oh, Gino is limping. Oh, man. Tough landing for him over there on the sideline.
I think they got a decent backup.
It's Drew Lock. Drew Lock. Used to be the Broncos starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
Swaggy. Got a little swag to him, man. Bumping Jeezy on the sideline. Yeah, tough landing for Gino.
Achilles.
Nah, I want to go straight to Achilles, man. I'm going to say sprained ankle, man. Twisted ankle. We're going to see Drew Lock coming into the game. Former first-round quarterback. Uh-oh.
He did that on purpose. He shouldn't have never done that. So, for those of y'all who don't know what's going on, Smith was running out of bounds. And basically, he was still tackling as he was going out of bounds, which is illegal.
No, actually, okay, I beg to differ because at the point where he caught his own pass and instead of passing the ball, when he took off the run, he's no longer a defenseless receiver. I mean, he's not a defenseless player. I don't think he has the same protection that he would be if he didn't catch his own pass running out of bounds as the quarterback, because then he's actually the receiver in that situation.
Oh, you know what? We're having technical difficulties again. But what I will say is one of our viewers, she says turf toe is carpet with concrete under it. It's pretty much what she was trying to get across. For whatever reason, we never got that post. Why did they take him out if he's still walking?
Oh, that's a great play.
Keep going.
Oh, that's a great play.
3-yard line.
3-yard line, yeah.
Good special teams.
Gino's hurt over there, man. Go ahead and take them ankles up.
63-yard punt. Giants backed up at their own 2. Gino hot after that tackle on the sideline. Seahawks up 7.
Check.
I can hear you. Probably turn your. Can you hear yourself in your microphone?
Yeah. In the headphones, yeah.
The only thing I have, the issue that I'm having, is like if I'm rubbing this mic against my face, I can actually hear all that stuff too. So maybe it's my headphones. Or mic sensitivity.
If there's somebody watching, how does the volume sound to you guys? Let us know how the volume sounded.
We definitely got to get better lighting here too.
We'll have all that more organized next week.
Huh?
Much more organized next week.
Next Monday. I'm gonna be here bright and early, but I like it. I like it so far. So far, so good.
Yeah, most definitely.
I don't. You know what? I'll say this. We're on commercial break again. So for me, doing this is a blessing. I love the smaller things in life. I don't dream big or want like big things or anything like that. But just doing something that I love to do.
You'll check on my baby. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, I hope you hear that. Sounds like she's doing something. But this is something that I love to do. I've been wanting to do this for a hey girl. Come on, this is something that I've always wanted to do, but wanted to do it for a very long time. Just haven't been able to do it up until now. I am one of the kind of guys that, like, once I set my mind to something, I try to get it done. Things happen that won't allow us to do what we want to do sometimes. And here we are, pilot the podcast that I've been wanting to do for the last 3-4 years now, to be honest with you. Doing it with one of the good friends that I have, watching football, good food, just, the works. All right, so we're back active on the game. This game is getting real spicy right now. Obviously, there's a lot of bad blood between the teams. So this might be a game the refs need to get under control of. There's a lot of jawing going on in this game. Appreciate that. She says it sounds great. For those of y'all who don't know, that is my mother. It's Bell Adams. This is awesome. First down. Isaiah Hodgins, stud. Giants really do have a good young squad. Really good young squad. I don't know what, again, I don't know what's going on in the organization. Why aren't they competing like they should be? I have no answer for this offense right now. I think defense, they're okay. But even with that said, they still have some miscues and problems going on the defensive side of the ball. But they are really a good young team. So maybe it's just slow starting. I have heard from a lot of other talk shows and blogs or V-blogs. I've read a lot of articles over the course of the past month where players, or actually beat writers and writers in general, are just saying that there was this big argument a while back about preseason, and then some teams, some coaches started on play it off. In the preseason game. There's an argument that a lot of times, and one day somebody's going to do some sort of research on this, because now I think they only have 2 or 3 preseason games now. Back in the day, they used to have 4 preseason games to get ready for an actual season. And teams that had players play the full preseason game, if I'm not mistaken, actually started off on fire. Whereas teams who didn't have players play the preseason, they started off slow. And eventually they just cashed in, so on and so forth. I do know that players, and this is just like a fact, the NFL players have actually come out and said this, multiple platforms, multiple outlets. NFL players have come out and said that they don't like playing on preseason games because they're pointless and things like that. But I feel like preseason games are needed. They're a major necessity, especially for rookies and year 2 guys coming in, and players who are going to different teams. An example of that would be, what's a good example of a player going to a different team, a different plateau? A good one would be Russell Wilson. As y'all know, he formerly comes from Seattle, right? When he got to Denver, they had a whole new coach in there, a guy who came from Pittsburgh, Green Bay. A guy who came from Green Bay, well-respected head offensive coordinator, who's the head coach. So Denver shouldn't have had any problems. But if I'm not mistaken, Russell Wilson didn't play any preseason games at all. Like, he was just ready to go day one. And the rest is history for that team. That would be a good example of a player who had all the jits, all the opportunity to get in some preseason games, and honestly didn't get going like he should have. and and his defense this year, for anybody who's like with Russell Wilson, right? I'm not, again, I don't care about these people's lifestyles. I don't care about what they do off season. I specifically care about what they do on the field, right? And you can see, I don't know if he played any games this year for preseason. I don't remember seeing him play any games or anything like that. I'm pretty sure he did a series or two. But for guys like him who've been with Pete Carroll for so long, and then you come over to Denver, and then and in the middle of all that shit with Denver, they end up giving you a whole new different coach, a coach who's got to say so, a coach who's got a voice. You should be playing every opportunity you can get. And again, I could be wrong. Like I said, I could be wrong. I'm not primarily certain if he played all preseason games or didn't play him at all. But to use him as an example right now, players who should have been or should be much better.
I think they went for a double pass.
It's kind of crazy.
He needed more preseason snaps.
He needed way more preseason.
The team needed about 4 more preseason games as a whole.
I do think they'll get better as time progresses, but I think we're starting to see why preseason is so important versus why players dislike it. I get it. Injuries are crazy across the league. Injuries happen a lot more now, it seems like. Guys are tearing ACLs left and right.
Another big part of it is the paychecks are not the same in the preseason. You're not getting paid the same amount of money in the preseason.
And I get that. Nobody's telling you to go 100% either. Why are you like, bro, you're not supposed to be, like, if you're going all, okay, you know what? Because I take that back, because Kobe Bryant is one of the guys who he's in practice, he's going 100 all the time, right? But the argument now is, it goes back to the turf. These players not wanting to play with the turf.
Yeah.
But I'm in the tent right now. Somebody's hurt.
4th down again. The Giants can't get nothing going on offense.
And that's what I was talking about when you kind of slid off. I don't know what's going on with them. That was a good young ball club coming in. They had high expectations. I believe they extend Saquon Barkley.
I believe they franchise tagged him.
Well, they franchise tagged him. He's playing with the tag. But they gave him Daniel Jones. Whopping. I think Daniel Jones is probably the top 10 highest paid players in the league right now. And he's playing like right now. You remember David Carr?
Yeah.
David Carr is a much better quarterback right now.
Hey, David Carr tear the Titans up though. Come here, Jerry. Come here. Come here, man.
She was coming head first with the battle. She's about to headbutt this.
Got a special guest with us, week 1, a little earlier than expected.
Commercial break again. Again, I just want to take this time to say thank you for all of our followers coming in. This is just a pilot episode. The lighting may be crappy. Even the camera may be a little crappy. We're just a work in progress. We're going to keep this going. And as we progress as a duo, as the season progresses for us, not the NFL, obviously, every week will be better and better at this. We do just want to say thank you guys for joining. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know what? Don't click the subscribe button.
Oh, no. Because we're going to have a new channel for you guys next week.
Don't do that. There will be a new channel up specifically for LEC Podcast because we had some technical difficulties in the rules and regulations of YouTube per se. We had to do it on my channel. So this will be uploaded to the LEC channel beginning next week. So if you want to check out the podcast, we want to have some say. So what we'll do is we'll actually post this live next week so you can interact with it. Feel free to fast forward and do what you got to do. Just get to the interesting parts of the fun parts of the podcast. But we do want to keep this conversation going. But yeah, this is pretty fire, man. Pretty fire. So we'll be on LEC Podcast, LEC Sports.
LEC Sports Podcast.
Let them cook.
Let them cook.
Let them cook sports podcast, bro. I almost said something else. I almost said something else. Oh man. So good question for you. How long we been friends, dog? How long has this been going?
Let's see. We've known each other since. Has it been almost 3 years? Almost 2.5 years?
Yeah. For those of y'all who don't know, he from Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee. Who's your rapper choice?
Oh. Right now, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go finesse 2 times right now.
Finesse 2 times.
Right now.
So,
finesse 2 times.
What's the difference between, if anybody were to ask you the difference between Memphis and Tennessee, how would you describe it?
The difference in what?
The difference between Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee. I said Memphis.
Okay, Nashville. So Nashville is gonna be Country Music Hall of Fame. Nashville is gonna be a lot more just of a country feel to it, but also a lot more populated, probably a lot more safer. Memphis is gonna be more of a jazz, hip hop kind of feel, with not really a city. It's kind of like a city feel, but not as much of a country feel as Nashville is. It just depends how you look at it. What are you saying? The sound is not going to the mic?
Yeah, it says not. So apparently we've been having audio issues this entire time. that explains a lot what's going on.
It was props.
Yeah. Hold on, give me 1 second, you guys.
It was props. At least we looked good while we were saying it. Technical difficulties all around the board. That's a little disappointing.
Now, Seattle hasn't been on the field a whole lot either. That was just their 17th offensive snap. But he's given some different looks. But that time he got a free rusher with a 4-man rush. But after their offense was able to get it off the goal line and come away with 3 points,
Mic check. So at the half, what we're gonna do is we're gonna restart this live stream. We're having some serious technical difficulties. We have not been going through the mics, and the sound isn't the best right now. But rest assured, as this is God's green earth, we will have that taken care of here in the second half. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back. We're gonna redo this live stream one more time. And again, this is just a pilot. We're still working out the mechanics and things like that. Mic check. Yeah. As you can see that green bar down there. It's the microphone from the
Yo.
Yeah. This whole time we've been holding these mics, we can hear ourselves in these mics. They sound great.
And y'all can't hear us in the mics.
Yeah. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Just for an hour and 10 minutes, we've been holding the mics.
That is beyond crazy. So we're gonna do this one more time for the second half. We're gonna give a little break going, and then we're gonna come back. We don't have the video and stuff yet for the halftime and things like that yet. You can't hear me now? Yeah, we're working on that. And actually, we'll probably, because this first half is really ugly right now. We're gonna
go ahead and take an intermission and get right back.
Take an intermission as soon as this half is over with. Whichever one happens first, the battery life is that way too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and take an intermission. We'll be right back at the second half. We'll catch up with you guys.
Hey, you chill out, motherfucker.
Bro, they can still hear you.